Excellent. This film sort of give you the opportunity to work with multiple film directors at once.
Yeah, all together.
Yeah, sure. Anwar Rashid Farhami. What was that like?
He was one, actually, he called me, there's a funny story behind it, like for one of his older movies, mainstream movies, he wanted me to do a trailer for that. Name and people best avoided. But
I sort of know this. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
So, no, yeah, actually, I ended up doing it and he liked it very much, but it didn't
Make the cut.
technical. So then he was like, okay, I like your work, we'll definitely work on something pretty soon. And that's when this came up. So then he called me and then said, okay, this is, and it's easy also, it's not a full length movie, it's a 20 minutes. I was like, okay, then that's good. So I can first experiment, because that'll be my first, background score alone. But I know how it's, with Rex and Sameer and all, we know how it's done.
Yeah.
But that's a very different, like more, there's time, there's space and all.
Yeah.
It was his first, it was all of our first, Sameer's first. So, but this, Anwar Rashid is award-winning mainstream big guy. I was like all worked up. But then
And it was such a layered story.
yeah, no, yeah. But he ended up shooting that very late actually. So I went there, and by the time I reached there, Shaiju finished his. So he never intended on calling me or anything.
Oh.
He heard some of the stuff I did for Army. Like because I was worried about it, I started working on it like a month before. Even before the video came, I just started making pieces to this basic story he told me. According to the moods, I made some pieces and sent it to him. So these guys all chill together always. So they play it together. And when he heard this, he was like, okay, so what if I ask him? I said, okay, you ask. And then he called me, and then I was like, okay, yes, sure. So then by the time his movie was done, Sethu Lakshmi was shot and completed very early. None of the other stories had even been fixed, but Shaiju was sure that he shot his and finished it. So then I went there and I started working on that. That's when, after this, like, I got some time also. There was a lot of time. So even though it was a 20-minute thing, I think I took a week or more to do it.
You wrote the song.
Oh
Tell
God.
us about the writing experience. But did you want to be a singer-songwriter at some level? Not Malayalam, I mean. At some stage, you would have considered that, right? Because you do write.
By then, we had already done like a lot of tracks.
Right.
Like before he got into movies, like we had made like a lot of tracks, right? Like 5 to 6.
5.
Only that none of them like released.
Yeah, we weren't sure enough to
He
release
was just
Malayalam
like
as
yeah, Malayalam.
all genres, like chill electronic Malayalam to folk.
You're like a
Malayalam.
jukebox of a band, you know?
We tried all genres and made 5-6 tracks. Most, like our close group, all of them I've listened to it. Some were very much liked, some were disliked. But we never actually released it.
Yeah.
That was just our.
Maybe they'll find its way to films in the future.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
So, Kanadaru. You actually bring out the best in each other. You realize that, no? Okay, I want to talk about Neha's musical influences, okay? Because you sort of sing all genres, which makes me assume that your tastes are sort of all over the map. Who are
Yeah,
your
pretty
musical
much.
heroes?
Too many actually, but it's like every stage of my life I've had somebody like really being influential, you know. But the two biggest artists who've been like really played a very huge role in my singing are Bade Ghulam Ali Khan and Björk.
Björk.
She's like my all in all. Just love her music. I just connect to her singing, her writing, her production, whatever it is. I just like connect to it like a lot.
She's like a Wonder Woman, you know,
Yeah.
till date, right? You see her production sort of like benchmark the rest of the world.
She's
Yeah.
still like touring.
How has she influenced you? Have you thought about it in terms of do you consciously try to be like her at some level? Because that's you can't avoid that when
No,
it comes to
I
worship,
won't
right?
deny that. I wish if you feel there is some Björk in me, then I'll be like the happiest person. But yeah, initially we had actually covered a track of hers,
Yeah.
Yoga. It's spelled Yoga and I think it's pronounced Yoga. But we had covered that like for our first Music Mojo session. Yeah, her music in totality, like I really connected to it. Why, which part, I don't know how to say
No,
it.
because even as a person, she's sort of like a free spirit, and
Yeah.
she advocates Buddhism, and
Yeah,
she used to be a hippie.
Yeah.
So there's so much of backstory she
Her
brings to her
music also
songs.
like,
and
like declare independence,
sure.
like raise your own flag. You know, don't follow any
I
currency.
think it
or
comes from
rule.
her family too. I think her mom like is an activist. So I guess
Like
that
old
activist
world
thing
ideas
has-
of the world, actually.
I think it's about it's the place also. Iceland, where that's one place I
we
want
really
to
want to
wanna
go. Yeah.
People keep asking her, "Do you have Eskimos?" It seems. She's like, "We don't one time
So
Eskimos."
that's what it's the opposite actually. Greenland is the place with
Correct.
ice,
Right.
and Iceland is actually green.
Relatively green.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So